this group meeting's gonna be like?
I don't know. We can't even talk about healthcare reform without getting into a fight.
Right, now we gotta talk about it in front of this Collins guy?
You seen Karen?
No. She could be around. Kinda been in a fog.
Cooper?
No, actually, I got engaged.
To Danielle?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Good for you.
I can't believe she said yes.
Of course she said yes. She's crazy about you.
I was thinking maybe we could all get together at the recovery room. Kind of celebrate, make it official.
Absolutely. Although there could be a fight.
Well, that's the only way I'm gonna know it's our group.
Yeah, you're on. It must be great to know you're going to be spending the rest of your life with the woman you love.
They need me in ER. Be sure not to be late for the meeting with Kevin Collins. And have either of you seen Dr. Wexler?
No.
Well, I want her there, too. I've tried calling, but there's no answer.
Oh, she's moving. Her phone's probably not hooked up yet.
She was paged.
She's moving.
Dr. Scanlon, grown-up doctors don't get time outs. Get her to that meeting.
I will.
Are you kidding? Like it's your fault?
I don't know. Maybe it is.
You have no idea. You have no idea what our plans are. You don't know that he's not going to come back here and share this place with me. And it's none of your business anyway.
Listen, I'm going to go look for Karen. Will you cover for me?
Yeah, no problem.
Right.
They're taking off. Yeah, that's how Eve almost got fired.
Come on, you heard Burgess. She wants her there, right?
Listen, what's going on with Jagger? You are not responsible. It's not your fault.
But I didn't have to leave him.
Why did you?
I couldn't take it anymore. It's hard enough being a cop's wife. When you sit around waiting for that phone call, you know, the one when they tell you he's not coming home. Not ever. But then he became obsessive on the job. He became grim and dark, and he pulled away from me, and I took the coward's way out, and I hopped on a plane, and I came home to Mother. At least her problems I understand.
You are not a coward. You're not a coward, all right? You are doing something that is very, very difficult here. You are trying to make a life for yourself here by yourself.
But when I needed him, he was there for me. And now that he needs me, I'm not there.
It seems to me that he doesn't want you there. That he is busy grieving for his brother.
Why can't I be near him while he's doing it?
Let me tell you something, all right? When Dominique died, I pulled away from everybody except for Serena. You know, and I didn't care, or I didn't think about how it affected the people that were in my life.
Do you think you were wrong?
I did what I had to do at the time, right or wrong. Right or wrong. And you gotta do what's right for you.
But what if he's not the same person? That's what I keep asking myself in the middle of the night. When I rode out of this town on the back of his bike, I was so sure of Jagger. I was so sure of myself, of our future. I couldn't wait. Now I don't even know what I want.
Here we go.
Thank you. Just, I hate it that I wasn't here for Dominique at the end.
Well, I think about her every day.
You two are close?
Yes. She was my very best friend. Actually, she was my first friend. And she changed my life.
She did have that certain bright spot of light inside her, didn't she?
But there still is Serena.
And my other nieces. Do you know Daniel Ashley and Catherine Bell?
Oh, yes. I should say I know Kathy like the back of my hand, but I don't know Danielle.
She was another one of Avery's mistakes.
You're kidding.
No, I've met her. She's quite a lovely young lady. But please, tell me about Catherine.
Oh, boy. Well, lovely is not exactly the word I'd use to describe old Kathy. You know, well, perhaps I'm a little biased. She did steal my cosmetic company right out from under me. But, you know, me being me, I just went right out, and I got myself a bigger and a better one. I guess I should thank old Kathy, huh?
Sounds like she takes after her father.
Oh, boy, yes, she does, in spades. But, Danielle, I had no idea.
Well, as I said before, she's quite a lovely young lady. She's quiet, fragile.
I just can't imagine Dominique having another half-sister.
Yes, and she lives here in Port Charles.
No.
Yes, it's true. I mean, I've met her a few times, but confidentially, I don't think she enjoyed it. I think I came as a shock to her. See, her mother never told her about Avery.
Really?
Yes. I'm afraid I truly did frighten her. I mean, all of a sudden now she has to deal with an uncle she never knew she had. Will you listen to me? I'm talking way too much.
No, oh gosh, no, you're not at all.
Well, I must say, though, it is your fault. You're such a good listener, but really, truly, I have taken up too much of your time.
No, please don't go. I'm finding this very fascinating.
But really, enough is enough. But before I go, I just want you to know that my offer to take Jack's Cosmetics to Russia was on the level. So if you still have any interest at all, you do know how to reach me. I should be back in Bonn by the end of the week. But Lucy, I just want you to know that I'm sorry about my little deception.
Well, listen, I just don't think you can go like that. You know, you need to meet Scott, and you need to meet Kathy, and I would really like to meet this Danielle.
I think it's a little late for family reunions.
Why?
It just is.
No, it's not. Listen, after what I've been through in the past month or so, I just believe that you have to enjoy the people that are in your life right now and cherish them right in that moment. And I think for you to just take off and leave would be a very big mistake.
I need a few minutes alone with the patient.
I'll be in the hall. Just yell if you need help.
I don't think he's going anywhere. Dr. Cooper? Dr. Cooper, can you hear me? Are you in any pain? Well, the chest tube seems fine. Oh, and there's more good news. The results of your CAT scan were negative. No evidence of abnormality, no physical explanation for the seizure you had in the car. So I'm not going to start you on phenytoin. I'm not going to help you and your lawyer say the seizure disorder you had made you do the things you did. You don't have to speak if you don't want to, but I know that you can hear me. I told some people today they had to get their feelings about you under control, and I never ask anything of anyone else that I don't ask of myself. There is something very important that I want you to know.
You know, it's okay not to know what you want because you're still young. It's all in front of you.
But I should know who I want. I made a promise to love Jagger for the rest of my life.
Let me tell you something, all right? I made a lot of mistakes, you know, along the way. But it wasn't until I figured out what I didn't want, you know, until I then figured out what I did want. And I got so sick of these schemes and the games, and then, you see, I met Dominique. And I didn't know that someone like her even existed out there. I didn't know that. She was, like my best friend, and...
I guess it's too much for me to expect my husband to be my best friend, too. I guess, it's too much to expect him to understand what I'm going through, for a change.
Do you think it's too much?
No.
No. No?
No.
Good. Then don't settle for anything less, okay?
Oh, God, if that's Mom, I'm gonna scream. I can't see anybody right now.
Okay. I'll get rid of them.
Would you?
Yeah, that's what fathers do, right? They do those kind of things. Rid of people.
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Well, so am I. So am I. Go hide.
Okay.
Hi, I need to see Karen.
Listen, you absolutely, positively cannot leave right now. I mean, think about it. Those Russian matrons have done without mascara and eyeshadow for centuries. What's another month to them?
But there's money to be made, bills to be paid.
Yes, but there's family to be dealt with, and you need to do that. Don't go sticking your head like Avery in your work and missing out on the whole world going by.
Please, don't liken me to my brother.
I think you can handle that. And I also think you can handle meeting Kathy and Scott and Serena as a member of her family.
I don't know why I already introduced myself to Danielle, and that didn't go too well. Certainly isn't fair of me to thrust myself into these other people's well-ordered lives.
You're right. You're absolutely right. That's why you're going to do it with a bit of caution and subtlety and flair. Let me just say, I think you should be glad you've met me.
What are you going to do?
Everything. Listen, I've got this great plan. I mean, I will get them used to the idea sort of subtly using my psychic abilities, and I'm very good at that kind of thing, you know, and we'll introduce you to them, and it'll be great, and I can't imagine anything better than that, can you?
No, I can't. But you would do that for me?
Yes, I would do that for you and for Dominique.
How can I ever thank you?
I take that as a yes.
You should know better. We're both doctors. We both know that you're faking. I don't want you looking at me anyway. You need to know a few things about your victims. Audrey Hardy has been discharged. She'll be fine. But the police officer who was driving the car when you had your apparent seizure, he's dead. But that was an accident, wasn't it? That wasn't your fault. But Dr. Falk, that wasn't an accident. You shot him down in cold blood. Now, I can't speak for that police officer's family, but I can speak for my friend David, because you should know about the man that you murdered. It should haunt you for the rest of your life.
I mean, isn't it bad enough that Greg Cooper is a patient in this hospital? But do we have to discuss how we feel, too?
Would you please sit down?
I hate this stuff.
Like we have nothing better to do than have our heads shrunk by this Collins guy. Anybody know who he is?
Dr. Jekyll was chief of psychiatry here until he held some woman hostage. A reformed stalker or something.
Great.
What are you doing here?
Dr. Collins asked me.
So, okay, where is this Dr. Stalker anyway?
Right behind you. Scott's friend, right? Well, judging from that greeting, I'd say this is going to be a tough room. Are we all here?
Matt Harmon said he'd be a little late. I don't know about Karen. And you can add Joe Scanlon to the list of no-shows. And if you ask me, I'd say he had the right idea.
Look, Mr. Baldwin, I'm not here to cause any trouble. I need to see Karen.
Well, she's a little upset right now, so why don't you just come back another
Look,
time?
she needs to get to the hospital or she's going to regret it.
What's that supposed to mean?
There's a mandatory meeting with Dr. Collins, and Burgess has been trying to reach her, page her, and she hasn't responded.
When is this meeting?
It's now.
And that means you're late for it, too. It's okay. What are you doing here, Joe? You're in enough trouble already with Dr. Burgess.
I don't care about Burgess, okay? I came here to talk to you, and I'm not leaving until I do.
You know, I do think that Scott would be, well, he'd be very disturbed if he knew that Dominique had an uncle and a half-sister here and he didn't even know about it.
Thank you. Are you sure? Family matters of this nature are usually sticky at best.
Well, yes, I'm learning that. Yeah, I'm not having had much family myself. I'm finding out that family can be very sticky, but wonderful and full of joy, and I just think much too precious to be ignored.
What you're describing is very different from the life I've been leading these past several years.
What you've been describing sounds lonely to me. It sounds like that your personal life hasn't been very enriching or fulfilling.
And you think meeting this family of mine would be good for me?
And I think it might be good for all of them, too. There's so many of them. I mean, I don't mean to be crass or rude, but Avery did leave a lot of kids running around. I mean, Danielle and Dominique and Catherine. Even though Catherine is not the long-lost relative of your dreams, she has been through a lot lately. And I think it might do you good and all of them good to have some sort of connection to family.
I don't know, my brother's legacy is a rather painful one. I certainly don't want to be opening up old wounds.
Well, trust me, I think forces beyond our control are happening here. For example, Kevin and I, well, my fiancé, we're having a little baby.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. And all of a sudden, his father has appeared back in our lives, which is a whole other story. And Serena came back into my life. And now Scott is having to deal with this daughter that he didn't even know about. And Danielle and you, well, here you are. I just think we're on a roll here, and the best thing to do is just go with it.
Unfortunately, I just can't help thinking this whole enterprise might be the biggest mistake of my life.